childhood, when everything is new. Life for the school-age child means learning and growing each day. Experiences in the school-age years form the intellectual and social foundations children will have for life. Knowing this, we can structure school in an attempt to educate the whole child. This is my quest. People have asked me for years about my philosophy and theories about education. And I just have to tell them, let's try to make it as practical as possible. We're living in a world that's increasingly alienating with computer games and videotape and movies and Hollywood. And children need experiences which are going to ground them in the real world. We have to think about when they're going to grow up, how are they going to use the information? I mean, there's been a lot of emphasis lately on testing, on computer learning, virtual learning, distance learning, standards. That's great, but it's gone too far. One place that's fantastic to start off the year is at the fish hatchery, where they learn about the cycle of life and death and renewal, and actually get to take part in that process.
Our mission, should we decide to accept it, and we have, is to go ahead and collect more fish for the hatchery.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to run a net down. Now, one question somebody asked last week is, how did the fish get in that net? Well, it just so happens that the fish tangles them up. It's called an entanglement net. And so what we're going to do is sweep that net through the hole, and we're going to see if we can catch some more fish to actually take over the hatchery and make little baby salmon.
Do it.
We got 2, 3, 12, 18, 19.
Now don't get carried away.
Okay, there's 2, but you know, I'm a fisherman and I'm prone to exaggeration. Oh, yay! Look, it was worthwhile. We need the net.
Oh, look how big that thing is.
And a tube.
Make a good show with that one, Thomas.
There's fish. Chinooki.
Look at the fish back there. Like the biggest one. That way we're here. Stop.
Anyway, this fish is ready to spawn, meaning the eggs were singled out, and we can tell they're singled out by filling their stomach. And this guy right here, Clark here, is our expert volunteer who sorts these fish. And I don't know if Tim is going to come here or not. But anyway, these are fish that are ready to spawn. Now, all salmon die on their spawning migrations, so it doesn't matter whether we kill them or whether they die on their own. And that's why this gentleman standing behind me has his big club here. So anyway, so we're going to basically send her to her reward. And we're going to put her up here. If somebody could go ahead and pick up that fish from the tail and actually drag her, no, you can get the next one if you like. Okay, now that was a female, okay?
She did. Over there. Let's come around.
Okay, pay attention. Come on back here, please. Now this fish, for example, this fish has kind of a narrow.
Yeah, don't move closer to me, and if you can move down a little bit further too. Thank you. Not quite that far down. Okay, great. Thanks.
Outside.
Got a female to kill.
Okay. Look out. I gotta do some whacking here. There's only been
Unmarked female kill.
Kenya, right in the deepest part.
Okay, well, we'll definitely give it.
Okay, hold it
I caught a female.
down a little bit, okay?
Oh, you're doing a great job. You must have done that before.
Okay, that'll work. Thank you.
Can I do the next one?
Work club?
Yeah, we're cold. Are you kidding?
Unmarked female kill.
Hey, I am your team. Come on, Steven. Get out.
Unmarked male, over.
I'm ready for the next one.
It's ready to go now. Has somebody cleaned the tray out yet? Yeah, go ahead, or you can have one of the kids.
I'll do it.
All you do is take a little bit of this,
Try to keep it out of that bucket.
and then you just wipe her down.
Clean up really good.
And then, that's pretty good. And then you're going to take some paper towels and wipe that stuff off. And then somebody can catch the next batch of eggs.
We try to keep as much of the water out of the eggs as possible. Even though the fish swims in the water, if we get water in with the eggs, it's gonna make the eggs so they won't fertilize. So we try to keep the eggs free of water as much as we can. So what's gonna happen is now I'm gonna unzip this fish right up the side here. And there comes the eggs. How about that?
A lot of eggs. That's a lot of eggs. No, they're inside. It's a lot of eggs. It's getting funny.
Somebody, well, yeah, I can,
Help them get them eggs out, Bill.
I think we got it
Looks
pretty
like you got it.
well. Okay.
Orange eggs.
Oh my gosh, I see them. They're all over. What did we put down?
What they look like.
There's a picture over here. Check them all out. They're like hiding under there. Yeah, they have like a straight spotted line. Some have lots of stuff just like up. Yeah. I don't know where to go. Where's me?
You went hiding the rock.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a rock.
They were on a treasure for a little bit. No. I'm crazy.
Oh, the water's cold. Here, I'm gonna stir it up.
He's like,
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, look at them.
where?
Oh,
Whoa!
whoa. Dude, look at these people. Go back. I can't see. See, they're all right there. See, like, looks like little sticks. They're all over there too. They're showing up there. Here. See, there goes a full bunch.
Mathematics is a subject that's got a lot of attention in press in recent years. Things like standards and practices and testing, benchmarks, and that's fine. You have to be able to measure children's progress. However, not all children are going to grow up to become physicists and mathematicians and chemists and engineers. Many will just need to learn how to balance a checkbook, to prepare a budget, go shopping, maybe enter the building trades or drafting. They need to, again, keep it really practical. And the floor plan project is a way for children to use multiplication and measurement and communication skills and graphing and area. It puts all those things together in a way that makes sense to the children. They grow and learn from it and end up with a product that they can display that is almost artifactual in nature.
Here is 3. Okay, put 16 feet down there. Okay. 5 feet. 5 feet. Good. I got it, Mom. Right here, that's 10 feet. 6, 7, 8. Look at this. John. How many times did you say? Oh, perfect. Okay. Counter 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jenna, 19, 20, 23. 23 feet. 4, 5, 6, 6. 91, 7, 58. Because I took 7 from 10 and I added 8 more. 79, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77. 78, 79, 91, 92, 93, 79, 85, 96. 7 times 13 is
It's my belief that life science should form one of the four cornerstones of a good education. Living things in general are good for children to study because it helps them discover the secrets of the world, how nature works, all those processes that seem so mysterious. Once under a little bit of inspection can prove to be really enlightening for children. Amphibians are a really good subset of that study because they grow in clearly observable stages. Children can study the egg, they can do embryology, the hatchling, larva, what we commonly refer to as a tadpole, maturing through the juvenile stages into adulthood. There's a lot involved in that, and often leads into a lot of different areas. A lot of field work is necessary to maintain. It's not unusual for us to bring in several different species, observe for a while and take back. They need to have fresh water. It's been quite a fantastic year for the study of amphibians.
Well, you can see right there. Mr. Polk, they're crowded here. That spot right there, they're crowded. Whoa.
Find your stuff in there. And maybe we might even get salmon or something.
Want us to get down. We might.
Us to dump out the water.
We'll go out and put it in there. Zach, wait a minute.
Oh my God.
It's him.
Yeah, go take it. Go. My flowers are in my backpack and just put off and type up. See that
The Pinhole Camera Project is actually a series of simple steps that complicates itself as it goes along, leading to the construction of an actual working model of a camera built with a shoebox and a piece of tin from a pop can or aluminum foil. The Greeks discovered about maybe 2,000–3,000 years ago that in a light-proof enclosure, a perfectly round hole on one side of the enclosure can produce a photographic image on the other side. And we've exploited that. I came up with a working model. The children build it, and Karen Hammer from the Coos Art Museum has taken it from there.
And your camera number was?
Number 50. I think that's what he said.
Okay. Okay, the people that don't have their cameras here, when you go over to the room, you walk in the door, and right around here, I stack the cameras up. See if you can find them and bring them back. Some paper, and we'll put it on that little block on the inside. Close it up, make sure the aperture is closed before we turn the light on. When we come back to develop the film, we're going to use this first. This is the developer. We'll be in there for 2 minutes on the timer, and then you'll pick it up by the corner, let it drain off, and you'll put it into the stop bath. The stop bath stops the developing process. Only takes about 15 seconds. Then you can pick it up, drain it off, put it into the fixer, and the fixer is the thing that makes the image permanent. It'll be in there for another 2 minutes on the timer, and then you'll take it over and wash it in the sink. Okay? So we are ready to load our film.
It's really important for children to have experience with the visual arts in such a visually oriented society. And to teach kids that, hey, there's an entire process behind these images that you love so much, these posters and these pictures. It's also important in the sense that children see a process from start to finish, from making the working model to doing the exposure, processing the paper. It's really important to teach children they can become active producers rather than just passive consumers of information.
The lower step right there. You want a little bit of an angle so things are separated like the two posts there. So they're not one right behind the other. We can get our pebbles. We need a couple pebbles.
Can you do this?
Okay, anytime you're ready. Up, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Got to be right there and ready for it to go down. down, all the edges are down. Looks pretty good to me.
I have to say one of the best experiences of my career is the making of the film The Greatest Billy. It started out actually as just a project, and developed into something quite different. We've now showed it to several hundred people, and more are interested in seeing it every day. It's really something to write a script as an exercise and visualizing, of course, the whole time, getting children helping with sound and lighting and doing the balance of acting it. And I appeared in it just because it's hard to create a drama about school without a teacher or adults. It really came out better than we had hoped and imagined, and been really a highlight in my career. Also important in the filmmaking process to show kids that it is a process. Movies just don't appear as if by magic on the screen. There's hundreds of people that work in a major Hollywood production. Our little production was a simulation of that, but children got to see the dailies, the outtakes, all those things. We did some of the scenes 20 times in order just to get them right. And many people ask the kids, "Oh, you want to be an actor?" And they said, "No, it's too much work." They get to see the work behind the movies that they love so much, and many of them will never look at film and TV in the same way again.
So everything was going along as usual until the day Mr. Page couldn't find his scissors.
Boys and girls, has someone borrowed my scissors? Because I was sure that I put them away in my top drawer like I always do. Anne?
I've been missing some things too, Mr. Page. I can't find my colors.
Cassie?
I can't find my glue, Mr. Page.
Jasmine?
I can't find my markers anywhere.
I sure hope there's not a little thief in here. Many people are missing some things out of their desk. Let's have a little visit about this. Why don't you go on over and sit down? Be right over there. Well, boys and girls, I thought we'd have a visit today. Seems some things are disappearing out of your desk. Anybody have any solutions how we might fix that problem? Larry?
I think the person who stole the stuff should just fess up because I want my colors back.
Fair enough. Tony?
I don't think anybody in here is still. We're all friends. We all like each other.
Certainly really optimistic of you, Tony. Billy?
I agree with Tony, but someone is stealing our stuff. I think I know who it is, but I'm not saying it.
folks, it's always best to keep those kind of things to yourself until you know for sure. What do you think, Cassie?
I was thinking, maybe if the person gives their stuff back, we can just pretend it didn't happen. What do you think about that, Mr. Page?
That's a pretty good idea. I can make a commitment right now to forget the whole thing if the stuff gets put back. Here's an idea. You could come and put it back at lunch. I'm not here anyway. And I don't care who took the stuff, but it sure would be nice if nothing else disappeared. You follow me? Okay, why don't you go ahead and line up for lunch?
Who do you think took the stuff?
I don't know. Who do you think it was, Rachel? I think it was Billy. He's always playing tricks. Who do you think it was, Deborah?
Why are you always hanging out with that stupid Billy anyway? He's such a monkey.
I don't know. Probably just because they always have me and Billy live on the same street, you know. Why are you always hanging out with the boys anyways? You're a girl, you know. Do you want to play with the boys rest of your life or what?
No. We'll play with us at lunch. I hope the thief turns himself in.
Or herself.
It's a boy. I would bet money it's a boy. I hope it isn't anybody from our room.
Yeah, I bet it is. We're a rat. We're a stinking rat.
Adventure School is a model that I came up with to get kids outside and doing the things that I think will help them become better citizens, better people, better thinkers, problem solvers. It's actually based on Outward Bound, which Kurt Hahn developed in the 40s to educate British seamen, to prepare them for the rigors of battle and war. And I've taken that concept, simplified it, and had kids doing things like rope courses, building shelters in the woods, things that force them to cooperate with one another to test their limits physically and mentally and grow from that experience.
I think you're gonna bring this now.
Come on, Levi, let's go. Come on. Hey, look. Yeah. Come on, Levi. Yeah. Go, Eric. Yeah. Come on. Come on, Eric. Don't fall us now. Come on, Eric. Yeah. Go, Cameron. Right.
You find some pins also.
Mr. Pokescotch, we had an adventure day. I'll tell you the whole thing that happened on adventure day. I think we did four rope courses, but I am not sure. I made it all like when we played the instruments in a big marching line, and when we did the rope course. That was neat. I think everybody that thought it was neat too. So I think they all like it. Well, all I know is that I like it.
Try this one, please. Yeah, just keep stacking them. Just keep stacking them. Try this one. And then when you touch the wall, it's going to fall over, guys. Yeah, this is going to fall. It's going to take a trillion logs to do that. Yeah. I don't think it's as a trillion. Guys, well, whatever. But they also have an easier spot. I know. I'll have one. Stevie's using it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Yeah. Yeah. What? 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 You start putting, Levi, you start putting them on. Is this big enough? Okay. I need that frog. Like this one.
We're just picking up some burns? Yep. I told Cameron to gather up the burn. I'll be up there in a minute to come and get some for you and help. Okay.
I don't know. I think it's getting better. Wait, you guys, this is our door. I don't know, it's like we need to redo it. No, we don't. Yeah. No, we don't. Yeah, they messed up. No, yeah, they totally lost. They took curved logs. No, guess what? We took it off. We took the logs off because we were going to help rebuild that one on the weekend. Well, let's just take this stuff off. Let's just take except these logs right here. Yeah. These are all logs. Except from here to come back here. So you want to take all this off? Yeah, these are on the side. I don't understand the last word. Yeah, because they're doing it from their back. These all sticks are taking that off. My finger on the button. Not on. That's what they said. That's like 7. Lacey. These are all the old ones. Give me my sock. Where's that this? Here, you guys supposed to put it like right in there. Ryan, turn on your rocky top. Okay, I got some of our big long ones, you guys. Ryan, slow and I'm about to call. Hey, Ryan, turn on your rocky toppy. Your thinking was sick. Okay. Yeah, that was good. That's good too. Kind of. Oh, that was good. Oh, okay, guys, I got my shipment.
I didn't put on the log I think Zach put on there. It was like resource. But she didn't put that up and it rolled off. I think it might have too. It did. Marcus, I have something. I think it's good that we got moved to a new fort because the other fort we couldn't really do nothing with. Except dig a big hole. Water in a well. Yeah, it's like a well. think one thing that went bad was the stick because ever since that blood kept waking him too.
I think the problem that went wrong is all those logs were on there. We should have just turned them around and used some of them and then just glued the rest down as the other guys since they were theirs.
Not everybody was doing workmanship. They were all just doing their own thing and they weren't helping each other that needed help. I did okay, right?
I did okay.
The beauty and joy of childhood lives on from generation to generation, and schools can do much to support children's physical, cognitive, and emotional growth. Children are the world's most precious resource. Having worked with children, I have seen the future.